Sadhguru, what about someone who's lost someone in their life because of this virus, or who someone very close to them is sick, and they're having to process the death of a loved one, maybe even remotely? They're not going to be able to see them or maybe go to the funeral. Yeah, what do you say to people who don't know how to deal with this version of death?
See, let us not categorize death as this version and that version. Whether you lose your loved one to an accident or cancer or virus, it makes no difference. You lost somebody, that is all that matters. So let us not put this virus death in a category of its own. Death is death. Death simply means somebody who was available to you is now absent, that's all. It is not because one life vanished, you're crying about it. It is just that somebody who was, filling a part of the collage for you is absent, so it leaves a hole in your life. Depending upon how close they were, accordingly it leaves that big a hole in your life. So, what you're battling with is not the death of a person, what you're battling with is the size of the hole they have left in your life. Suppose a faraway relative or a friend, somebody that you know, an acquaintance died, you feel bad for an hour and then you get back to normal. But somebody very close and dear to you passed away and now they've left a huge hole. So your problem is you trying to tend to this hole which is within yourself. This hole has happened essentially. Now what I say may sound little brutal for people who are in that situation, but one must understand this. If you look for solace, yes, if somebody comes to me who has just lost somebody dear to them, I will also hug them and, protect them and give them some solace. But you must decide whether you want solace or you want a solution to your life. Because today this person will die, tomorrow that person will die, day after tomorrow I may die myself, it doesn't matter. But people keep dying because we are dying kind of people. Let's understand this, all of us. We are dying kind of people. We are not dying only because of the virus. One way or the other we die. Some will die unfortunately early, some will live a full life and die, but every one of us will die. We are dying sort. First thing that must be fixed in our mind. We are mortal by nature. We are not mortal because of some accident or virus or something. We are mortal by nature. Somebody here in South India, this man was 111 years of age and he was considered as a great sage, hugely revered, worshipped almost godlike because he served, all his life was in service. Literally almost till the last day, he was involved in service activity right from a teenage boy to this age. All the newspapers reported, this particular Swami suddenly died. I said, what, at 111, how can you suddenly die? But for people who love him, it looks like he suddenly died because he's left a hole in their life. It doesn't matter whether he's 50 or 100 or 111 years of age, but for people who love him, for people for whom he is filling a certain amount of space within people, which it is true for millions of people in that man's case, everybody thought he suddenly died, but at 111. So, this is how it is. If people don't think that your death is, sudden, that means within themselves they've been wishing you gone for a long time. Otherwise, it will always feel sudden. If people have loved you, it doesn't matter you die at the age of 100, people will feel it is sudden. Only if they've been wishing within themselves, when will you go? Only then they will feel it's not sudden. So having said that, grief, we must understand, it is on many different levels. There is a psychological grief. In thought and emotion, you suffer the loss of the person. But depending upon how much memory you have built within your body with regard to that person, let's say if it's your child or your husband or your wife or some kind of very close bond, then a certain amount of memory is there in your body. We call this traditionally in the yogic culture as runanubandha, that is, body has developed a bond beyond your psychological friendships and companionships and love and whatever else you have. Body itself has done this. A whole lot of people feel this. Somebody close to them died somewhere, they have not received any information. Suddenly they feel their energies are gone and they're like, they don't know what's happened, but suddenly they're almost sick, they're feeling like that, completely drained out. Then after a few hours or few days, information comes that this person is dead. But well before the information came, they will feel this because within the body there is a certain process that the memory starts undoing itself and you feel like you're dumped. For this, there are yogic processes with which you can rejuvenate the system. There's a whole system of things to do. That is not something that I can discuss here, but this system is still alive. Here at the yoga center, we've kept it very alive. For people who lose their loved ones, we do certain processes so that the physical memory is taken away. Once the physical memory is taken away, the psychological suffering can be dealt with by the individual person much more easily.